Yeah, we live, baby.
Yes. We are in the building. What's up, man? What's good, man? This good old Monday.
It's Monday.
Yeah.
You know what's really crazy? Why I
Talk
probably
to
would
me.
always feel good? The Knicks ain't been playing in 3 nights.
Hey, man, I hope that's enough rust to blow out Houston tonight. That's what I pray and hope for.
They gave us a damn break.
Huh. Let's see. Sometimes breaks ain't good.
Nah.
Hey, that's another day. Let's stay positive. How you feeling today?
I got some rest. I got some sleep.
Yeah. I got
Um,
some good rest last night too.
I was running around. I had to drive off something to my daughter, and right now I'm just,
Yeah. Well,
this is
listen,
like
man.
therapy, like B always used to say.
Yes. Well, listen, man. Let's get right to it. You know our motto: they scared, but we not. Let's go, man. Yeah, it's
March
only
Madness.
sports. Oh, March Madness, man. Listen, had some good games over the weekend. Some real good games, man. Saturday, of course, Florida Atlantic beat Kansas 79-76. Marquise Noel had a great night, but didn't get off the last shot. Creighton and San Diego State 56-57. That was a nail biter. San Diego State by one. Then yesterday, UConn blew out Gonzaga. Oh my God.
Beat down.
That helped me get some good rest. I've been stopped watching that. That was terrible. And then you got Miami, Florida. They beat Texas 88-81, if I'm not mistaken. That was a good game because Texas was up double digits.
Mm.
And let me tell you something. Miami got two players I like. The kid Miller's a pro. I don't know where they got him at projected in the draft, but he's a top 5 pick. Miller had 27 yesterday, and they got a guard over there, Wong. He had 14 yesterday. Good player too. Those two is pros, but Miller tough, man. Miller is tough. So in the Final Four, we have Florida Atlantic versus San Diego State, and we have Miami versus UConn.
And the crazy part with that is going back to the topic that you always mention. How big are these schools? Like, what does a big school mean anymore? None of these teams were ranked in the top 10 in the AP poll preseason. So that's something I want to get because, again, I'm not big on college ball, but there's certain things that just stand out. And that's the third time it's ever happened in the history of the NCAA tournament. None of these teams in the Final Four were in the AP preseason top 10 poll.
And think about it. The only noticeable program, even though all the programs is great, but the only one with some cachet is UConn.
Miami, for me, when we were younger, but that was for football.
Yeah, right. We talking basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, San Diego State, Florida Atlantic. So Remember, we was talking, and like I said, we may have to do a whole show on this, get Sean Boss and a couple of our guys on here. I really think going to a big program, unless you're a superstar, listen, man, these mid-majors, listen, they just as good.
What's the point? What's the point if Mr. New York City, he might be showing the blueprint or remixing it? What's the point? And then I didn't see what Gilbert Arenas said. I didn't actually click on the video, but the fact that he is stating something, maybe where there's smoke, there's fire, because he's a troll, so it's hard to take him seriously. But
right.
The fact that that's considered the Elite Eight where they lost that.
That was the Elite Eight over the weekend. Yes.
Kansas State. So the fact that you had these big names and they made a name for themselves. I mean, the March Madness is always that. But where is Coach K retired? Calipari, he's with Kentucky still?
Yep.
Where's he at? So a lot of these things are like, there's been a mix-up. So these were all considered like it was McDonald's or Apple, one of these big corporations. Well, where they at? Duke. Like you said before, Gonzaga's pumping out this talent.
But also think about how many good players is getting lost in the sauce because they're not going to big schools. And then when they get in the league, a la John Morant, a la Kawhi Leonard, a la Scottie Pippen, a la Dennis Rodman, the list can go on and on and on. You have great players hiding in these mid-major and these small programs. Come on. And to me, it's not fair. Like the bigger programs, y'all got to start doing better jobs. Because how do you not know if this is your job and you're a scout? How does Kawhi Leonard not go to a Duke or North Carolina or Kansas? How does a Damian Lillard go to Weber State? Big shout out Weber State. But how does he not go to a UConn, a Kansas, a Villanova? Like, how does that happen? How?
And we could understand, slipping in the cracks, but this is also just
too many slipping in the cracks.
Yeah, and like, who is really the star left in college basketball? Like, because the one Mr. New York City outshined everyone, because he's the small guy, and then he's blowing up. But who else is that guy? I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
especially if, again, going back to the AP poll, that means you overlooked a whole bunch of teams and a whole bunch of talent.
Preach. Yes, great point. Because remember when Zion was in college, we already knew. Like you said, how many? Remember, all they talk about is Wembanyama?
Wembanyama.
That's all they talk about. But me watching the tournament, Marquise Noel, and like I said, the kid Miller from Florida. So at the end of the day, man, I understand everybody want to push the overseas guys and keep, bigging them up. But we got some ballers in the States that's getting overlooked. Come on, man. So
big time.
Yeah. So like I said, we got our Final Four, man. Florida Atlantic versus San Diego State, and Miami versus UConn. I'm looking forward to both games because Florida Atlantic got a crew, and you see what the Kansas State coach, if I'm not mistaken, after the game, I think he went into their locker room and gave them props and said he don't think nobody gonna beat them. Florida Atlantic got a tough team. So this Final Four, I like the adversity. I like that there's the mid-majors and the lower schools in there. Ain't no big. I like that. I like the underdogs, man. So, big shout out to all the programs. Big shout out to everybody that participated, all the schools, all the players. But March Madness, if you're a sports fanatic and a basketball fan, it lived up to the hype. I love to see Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina. I love to see all them bumped.
Right.
I love it. I love it because it's like David and Goliath.
Right.
Right. I love it, man. I love it.
Well, as we continue on, we love that. Good luck to everybody. Good luck. Shout out to Mr. New York City still.
Hey, man. Oh, man, like one of our posts, man. Big shout, man.
Because we shouted you out. Come on, man. Repping, seeing Cam over there, with, at the game. That was just so dope.
Yeah.
But going from the big game to the big game in the NBA, Braun back, but the Lakers lose.
Listen.
How'd you feel about this?
I love it. And I'm going to tell you why. And it's not because I'm a LeBron hater. Because I am proud of it. But I respect him as an athlete, as a man, as a human being. But get out the way just for a moment. Let the team do what they're paid to do. You don't have to be a part of everything. Wait till the playoffs. Get fully healthy. Now when he comes back, the players got to learn now to play around him again. And he's not a normal player. So, and you got to understand Patrick Beverley was looking forward to this. So, whatever talks he had with that team in the locker room, they was coming out full throttle. So to not be prepared for that, and for you to come off the bench, like, come on, bro. Let's go ahead and play yourself into not making in the playoffs or the play-in. Only because you want to be selfish, you want it to be about you. Because if not, let people do what they get paid for. And that's play basketball and win games. Anthony Davis and them was winning games. Y'all said that's what he did for. Y'all want to see if he can hold it down. So give him the opportunity. Now let's say if you backtrack, let's say if you don't make the playoffs or you make the play and you lose in the first round, we're going to blame Anthony Davis again? You're going to come in and mess up the chemistry. That's exactly what he did. So, I like that they lost, because once again, because everybody's so high on the Lakers, and it's like they older, they injury prone, and they keep overlooking. They keep overlooking the consistent good young teams. So I love that the Lakers lost, and I hope they keep losing. Knicks for life. Yep. What you thought? What you thought about it?
I think LeBron is damned if you do, damned if you don't with the LeBron haters. Because come on now, like there's no way he could win that if you take a loss and you got Anthony Davis scoring 15, not even 10 rebounds. No one on the Lakers had 10 rebounds. LeBron came in there.
How many points Reeves had? Because everybody's now proclaiming him one of the greatest now.
13 on 6 of 10 shooting.
How many minutes he played?
37 minutes. But here's the kicker though. He's been getting like 20 free throws a game, and it's an exaggeration, but he only had 1 free throw yesterday. So, with LeBron being there, and LeBron came off the bench, by the way.
Of course. How many minutes he played?
29.
It's a lot of minutes.
That's crazy. If he really tore a tendon,
come on, man.
And that's when I can't defend him. There's no need to talk about your superhero doctor, the LeBron James of doctors you're speaking to. I saw shout out to JP from Twitter. He goes, so does that mean he's gonna lose every 4 out of 7 surgeries? So I think that's when it gets a little too like, bro, you lost. Pat Beverly called you out, called you small.
Man. You see them? Yeah. Oh man, the little sign is hilarious. You gotta love it. Hold on, did you see how you troll Shannon Sharp?
Of course, we got that. What you mean? Did we see it? It's on our page, bro.
Of course. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
And they're in trouble, like I've been saying, and it's not about LeBron's health. It's always going to be Anthony Davis's health. There's no way around that. He can't have 15 points. You're not doing anything. How are they going to beat the Grizzlies? How? And for everyone, listen. Shout out De'Aaron Fox. I think he pulled his hamstring over the weekend, but they were up and down team. They're a transitional team. Doesn't matter what you say. They can't beat those guys. They're going to be running up and down that court.
Right.
I don't see the Lakers doing anything with this because I see the Lakers fans, they'll start beefing with Malik Beasley for scoring 2 points or Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt only had 4 points yesterday. He should have had more rebounds, should have had more blocks. But again, those are role players. Those are energy guys. I don't see them. Dennis Schroeder had 17. They had 6 guys in double figures. Okay. But this is all on Anthony Davis. I don't care what LeBron does. If AD is AD, then they have a championship shot. But, see, LeBron's not the guy.
I disagree with you. I think it's on both of them. I'm not putting this solely on AD. I'm not doing that. If you have somebody on your team that some people was considering the GOAT, whether he 1, 2, or 3, it's no way in the world he don't hold no culpability and no accountability. So I am not putting all this on Anthony Davis. I guarantee you if LeBron didn't play last night, Lakers was winning that game. I guarantee that.
I don't know that because that's when I think it was the worst time to come back. The Bulls are 5th in the league in defense. They've been playing rough, a rough type of defense. They're staying in the game. They beat Philly the other day. Philly's starting to slouch a little bit.
Right.
So this wasn't the game to really. If it was a game, I guess that's why I got to give LeBron his credit. He came back against a tough team. They're fighting for a playoff spot. They're in the same position as the Lakers, but with more momentum. And speaking of which, we got to give props to your man Zach LaVine. 32 points yesterday.
Can you give me my props, please?
Of course. We got to give.
How long I've been saying Zach LaVine stepped his game up. He's tough, and right now he should be in the New York Knicks uniform.
He should be, because imagine him with 30 points per game, 5 assists, and 52% shooting from the field. I think it's 40% from 3.
And if I'm not mistaken, we had an opportunity to get him and keep Randall and Barrett.
Right. So it would have been worth it because he would have increased the ceiling. He's already cool with Tibbs, unless there's something we don't know about with that. Like he really has a beef with him or whatever it is. That's not their guy. But he's a total improvement from. Imagine starting him over Grimes.
Listen, ever since it was rumored he was going to be traded, I think he might be averaging 30.
That's that. I'm sorry. Those are the March stats: 30 points per game, 5 assists, 50%, 52% from the field.
And what's their record? Well, let's say at least the last 10 to 15 games.
Standings. Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago in the last 10 is 7-3, and they won the last 2 games in a row.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, so, those are basically all the games in March.
Yeah. Come on now. So, like I said, the Lakers is in trouble. They've been in trouble. Me and you been preaching that, arguing with everybody. Like I said, Anthony Davis and LeBron is injury prone right now. It's not just Anthony Davis, but I think Anthony Davis, Reeves, and them has something going that I think LeBron should have just stepped back and allowed them to just get them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You come back fully healthy, and then now you go. But now, let's just say, what if he re-aggravated whatever injury he had yesterday? So, sometimes you could be the smartest person, but not make smart decisions. That wasn't a smart decision on LeBron's behalf yesterday. I'm sorry.
And that's, I think, us two comes back from there. I think that's it's all good. That's the biggest thing with LeBron that I guess any critic would say, hey, is it because they fought to stay in the playoff picture? They got a chance. You want to ride in as the white knight, and now you want to play these basketball games. But when they're meaningless, you sit out for the rest of the game, and you like when he first got to the Lakers, Lonzo Ball and these kids, they were ready to go. Like imagine LeBron with those young kids. I mean, Lonzo Ball has been injury prone as well, but at the same time, it's like he went there for this though. LeBron came in. This is the LeBron show. This is his drama. It comes with, hey, we're in the playoffs. I'm gonna do my commercials in June. Get them ready because this is what I do.
Yep.
I can't. He's a diva. That's who he is. But I can't be mad at him playing. You just can't, especially if he tore a tendon in his foot. Where you play basketball for a living? That's crazy.
Once again, we could respectfully agree to disagree. If you're not fully healthy, and right now, before you came back, your team was in that 8th spot. If you see they got something going good, hey, man, just sit back and let them keep rolling.
Yeah.
You got to know if you come in and you come off the bench, it's going to throw a little monkey wrench into everything. You got to know that. If it ain't broke right now, don't fix it. Oh, man, they rolling. Let me just chill out and just continue to get healthy and just cheer my team on. So I think the Lakers is in real trouble. I think
the Lakers got to play them. The next game, Turbo,
what
is the Chicago game on Tuesday for the Lakers, and they play OKC if I'm not mistaken. They also play the Clippers, the Lakers. Let me look at their schedule real quick.
Yeah, what's their remaining schedule? Because these next couple games, they matter.
When I saw it, did not look good to me. Utah is a tough out. Minnesota, who's been we're going to talk about them in a second.
Back.
Right, Cat is back. We'll talk about that in a second. Chicago, Minnesota, Houston, but Houston's been coming out of nowhere, just playing tough against people. Utah, like I said, the Clippers, Phoenix, Utah again. This is not an easy schedule. So LeBron coming back, he had to do this. Rage Man in the building. I want him to play to show he the problem.
Thank you, Rage Man. Exactly. Come on, man.
Rage Man living up to the name, baby. That's hilarious. I just can't see how. What do you want him to do? Just sit out the rest of the season?
No. Once again, if your team is doing something good, let them continue to do it. Why you got to be a part of it right now? Why? Because
they've been rigging the game, like Devin Booker said, giving Austin Reeves 30,000 free throws.
I'm gonna tell you what LeBron did. I'm a gambler, right? I'm a blackjack guy.
Right.
Imagine you at the blackjack table, you rolling. Hey, man, everything going your way. And I come in here and go, it may go my way with him. And I sit on the table and then we just lose everything. No, you sit back and let the train roll.
Okay.
He's not healthy. But he's trying to play Superman. He seen Steph came off the bench. All these players, they come off the bench. Bruh, once again, you're not in that position. You're sliding out of the playoffs. Your team is getting you back in the playoffs. So I think, I preach if you ain't hurt, play and this and that, you shouldn't low manage. But you've been doing it all season. Why all of a sudden now you want to get in the game?
Nah, I tell you, damn if you do, damn if you don't. That's what it is.
Man.
Bro, we can't, in the era of load management where, he allegedly tore his foot. He's playing in the last couple games to get the playoffs because I'd rather him play and see him lose. These LeBron fans, I love them because they're morons. Well, except the few that are in our inner circle. No offense to you guys.
Listen, man. That man sat back and went, this shit going good without me? Nah, this can't happen. I got to get on that court.
Nah, this guy, come on, man. The hate button is strong today.
The GOAT cannot get embarrassed by Patrick Beverly. Big shout out, Pat Beverly.
The GOAT got outshined by a Chihuahua.
Come on, man.
Listen,
man.
Speaking of which, one of the GOATs, supposedly, Stephen Curry and them boys took an L. A major L yesterday against the Timberwolves, who, like you mentioned earlier, Cat came back. What do you think about that?
Let me say this first. And everybody went crazy on me. I told people Golden State is in trouble. Golden State is in trouble. If you have to rely on Gary Payton and Andrew Wiggins to win games and to get you to the chip, and you got two of the greatest shooters of all time and one of the greatest defenders of all time, and of course I'm being sarcastic about one of the greatest defenders of all time, how are you a good basketball team? They're not a good basketball team. They older, they injury prone. Draymond is not giving you what he used to. Poole, for some reason, is not the Poole from last year. Yeah, he give little flashes here and there. Wiggins is out. Like I said, all those young players, Kuminga in them, they okay, but they're not what everybody projected to be. That process is taking longer than what people expected. Because people last year were saying, Kuminga and them is all going to be all this and all that. They got a great young core. They're not a good basketball team.
They traded one of the big guys away, by the way, right? And Wiseman gave up on him.
I mean, Wiseman wasn't even on the court, so he didn't play last year. So I don't hold out against them. I just think they're not a good basketball team, and it's starting to show. Steph Curry can't do it by himself. I'm sorry.
Well, I would like to add. I'm gonna go to the standings. I'm sorry, I didn't go to the standings. This is the playoff picture now in the West.
And where they at?
They're sixth, a game ahead of the Lakers. Hey, don't be popping up on me, Ad.
Hold on. The Lakers is in seventh?
No, the Lakers are in ninth. I'm sorry, a game ahead of who's in seventh? Oh, remember this? It's a play-in with Minnesota versus the Pelicans. And then the Lakers are in ninth.
Hold on. It's 1 through 8, and then what? 9 and 10 is the play-in, right?
7, 8, 9, 10 got to battle out the play-in. Yeah, so I love that. I know Dom despises it. Shout out to Dom Dropper.
I hate it.
How do you feel? Do you?
Yeah, 1 through 8, man. If you ain't 1 through 8, get out of here. Go home.
Yeah, I said that chip last year for the Dubs was a must-win. That one from Chip Curry was more impressive than any of Braun. Nah. Yo, the Braun hate is crazy.
No, I'm not. Hold on. I'm not gonna lie. They're coming down 3-1. You gotta respect that shit.
1,000% where he beat Curry and them.
Gotta respect that shit.
Yesterday was a big deal because Minnesota's now in 7th place and they're a game behind. Really, they're a half game behind Golden State, and all they gotta do is win a game and they're tied. I don't know who got the tiebreaker.
Right.
But you know what I severely underrated at the trade deadline? The Mike Conley pickup by Minnesota.
Solid.
Formerly Goldberg's teammate.
Yep.
They slowed the game down yesterday, and I was looking at the numbers here. He's only averaging 13 points a game, 5 assists, 41% from 3.
He controls the game. Remember, he's not there for nothing else but to control the game.
Right. 41% from 3-point field goals, 31 minutes a game. Here's the big deal to me is 1 turnover a game. D'Angelo Russell He averaged 16 a game with them, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, and one steal. I think I put down there. 33 minutes, but he averaged 2.7 turnovers. So, like you said, I'd rather the guy that's not 3 times the amount of turnovers, and he's familiar with Gobert. He knows exactly how to utilize that guy at the end of a game in crucial moments at halftime when somebody's about to foul out. And shout out to Gobert. I'm surprised you didn't see this, where he gave your man the Macho Man elbow, Draymond, and dropped him.
Nah, I gotta see that. See,
big time.
Listen,
in the paint.
Minnesota, all fully healthy. That's a nice little crew that for them. Conley, Gobert, Cat, and Ant-Man. Hey, man, that's a nice 4-piece that you can build around. Of course, I don't think Cat is going to stay, but I'm saying they're not no slouches. So a lot of these teams, these older teams, the Clippers, the Lakers, Golden State, if you think you're going to just go in there and just think you ain't got to play hard and win, you wrong.
And shout out to Cat. I know I'm down on him and everything about being how I think he is. How his play is kind of soft, or it is soft. But he's going through a lot through his personal life the last couple of years with the pandemic and everything. God bless him and his family.
Yes.
Big time 3-pointer yesterday. Going back to what you said, why the Knicks need him. It was 2 3-pointers yesterday. I'm like, damn, I forgot. I don't like his soft side to him. I hate when he misses a rebound being 7 feet tall. But those are the things that he's not going to miss at the end of the game. Anyway, he's like a spot-up shooter.
Listen, man, he's very underrated. He's very underrated. Yeah, he's not as good as Joker or Embiid and maybe Anthony Davis. But then after that, it's nothing wrong with being the 4th best big man in the whole world. I'm sorry.
And spreading the defense the way that he can. Yeah. Turbo pointing out that they're both 2-2. I guess Minnesota versus Golden State against each other, maybe the tiebreaker.
Right.
But the greatest shooting big ever. No, Rage Man.
Who?
No, Cat. Rage Man.
What are you talking about?
There was a German by the name of Dirk Nowitzki. The greatest shooting by Cat ain't no damn Larry Bird. Stop disrespecting the legend, Larry Legend. Y'all better chill out. You're gonna learn about that green guy, man.
Yeah, Rage is trolling, man. Love you, Rage. You gotta be trolling.
By percentage. Rage Man, put them video games down. I saw your channel. I love your channel. Put the video games down, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
Marcel said no way. Turbo said no way.
I think, like I said, my thing is, I think Cat is underrated, and I think once he get a fresh start somewhere, hey man, he's going to be all-stars, and he's going to be in them even MVP talks, maybe like top 5, because he has the skill set. He has the skill set. If you like that, let's say he come to our Knicks, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say we second, third best record in the East, and he's averaging 27 and 11. Bro, that's what I'm trying to tell you. But let me stay on the Warriors real quick. The Warriors are in trouble. And I think, depending on who they play, the only team I think they could beat in the first round is the Lakers. I don't think they beat nobody else. I think they losing in the first round.
The Warriors ain't beating nobody. They're not going to have. They need whole court advantage badly. They can't beat anyone on the road. Minnesota just beat them on their floor, as a matter of fact. Question. What are they going to do? Is this the Gary Payton the third show? That's who we were relying on?
Question. Is it time to trade Draymond?
Trade? That shit been said. He's a free agent at the end of the season. You know where he's going.
No.
Wherever LeBron is going. That's where he's going.
Is it time to let him go? Are they going to let him go?
Yeah. You have to. Last night, I was looking to see who helped him up from that floor after catching the elbow, the fierce elbow, Lex Luger elbow from Gobert. I think somebody came up to him, but I don't remember. Like, usually when you get dropped like that, your teammates are coming around you, surrounding you, bro.
Right.
I don't think they feeling Draymond. No way. And I'm not even big on Jordan Poole like that. I think he's vastly overrated, mad streaky, and I hate if he was here, he would piss me off even more than, not more than Randall. Randall got to go. But that's the guy that he dropped, and people are still, supporting him over Draymond.
Yeah, now I think Poole is a great player. I think he should be starting, but let's not forget his teammate, his leader, punched him in the face and embarrassed him.
Right.
So let's not act like we don't know why he's struggling this season. We've seen what he can do. We know what he can do. But let's not act like Draymond Green did not embarrass that man and punch him dead in his face.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
Yeah, so but I'm also going to hold him accountable because that's what we do on here. He's not having a good season. So I'm not making no excuses. But let's not forget what happened. Please. I'm not forgetting that.
And just one last note with that for you morons who think Magic Johnson would not dominate in this era. That's the guy running your offense, a championship offense. That guy? What do you think Magic would do in transition? Oh my God.
Yo, listen, let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this.
Right.
Because now you just got me aggravated.
I hit a nerve.
No, because when people really say this, and Gilbert Arenas, I love his takes, man. I love his content. And I know what he's doing. But we all have to be smarter than this. For people to say certain players can't play in the league, but Draymond Green is literally running an offense. Do you know what Magic Johnson and Larry Bird will be doing today? Do you know what Hakeem Olajuwon and David Robinson will be doing today? Like, do we not know that?
Right.
Like, we laugh at John Stockton. John Stockton is a winner. Remember, they put up the stat. He played 19 seasons, and for 17 seasons, he played every game. Like, come on. So, at the end of the day, man, we have to be real. Golden State Warriors is not a good team. And I'm sorry, as much of a fan I am of Curry, he cannot, and he will not carry them by himself.
And I'm glad Rage Man said, Larry Bird and Magic, the two smartest players ever. I mean, clearly high IQ dudes. But this is my thing with Draymond, Mr. Podcast. You can't be that smart dude off the court and just super eloquent. You're lying to yourself, and you ain't lying to nobody but yourself, bro. What do you like? All of these plays you do on the court are super low IQ. Punching your teammate I know it's happened before, but it's the brashness that you go about it. Like, so nothing happened. It's April already. It's already April coming in the coming days. We felt that. We still feel it. You don't feel that, Mr. Smarty Pants?
Now, this is what people never take into account. You don't think whoever was cool, who's cool with Poole, is not feeling that as well? What if Poole is your best friend on the team? What if he got 3-4 players on the team those are his guys? You don't think they all looking at Draymond like that?
Yeah.
So that's another reason why they struggling. We can all act like we don't know what's going on. We can all act like, Clay is this and Poole is this and Steph Curry may be hurt and No. You punch my friend in the face. I don't want to be around you, but I got to be around you because of work. So let's not act like that's not a factor. Everybody's scared. But let me tell you one thing. I ain't scared. It's only sports. It's nothing personal. But you're not telling me that's not a reason. One of the reasons Golden State ain't struggling.
Right.
You can't. That's nothing you forget within 3 months, 6 months, a year. You may not never forget that.
Nah, I just can't, because the first thing you're thinking about is like, hold on. If you did that to Jordan Poole, he's supposed to be the next coming on the team.
Did he? I don't even think he got suspended.
No, he didn't get suspended.
No. So imagine if you Poole, how you looking at the organization? How you looking at the coach? How you looking at the coach's staff? How you looking at whoever rolled with Draymond? Look, we all been outside before. I mean, if you really was outside, everybody's been snuffed, whether they're connected or not.
Right. And you could get over that. It's just, like I said, it's just his like, I love it because you have a podcast and you could, make your money and that's who you are. All right, cool. But at the same time, bro, all everything you be talking about from back in the day is null and void now. A lot of stuff that you stop trying to act like Draymond is the key piece or just as important as Steph. He is totally replaceable, and how Rage Man agrees, Turbo agrees, you agree, you said it. I definitely agree. It's time. Your ship has sailed, brother. Bye-bye, Dre.
I wish I would give you another $100 million. You kidding me?
He's-
And 9 times out of 10, Wiggins will probably be back. Come on, man. Bye, Felicia.
right. Well, 9 times out of 10, the Mavs lost again.
Hey, I wish we had like the button where you hit where you hit the applaud.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, man. Kyrie and Luka, not a match made in heaven. Let me say that again. Kyrie and Luka, not a match made in heaven. Hey, Luka, what happened? I thought the league was easy. I thought just you can score. You know, you've been a pro since 12. What's going on? Are you about to be the next superstar that when you don't get your way, you're going to run and join 2 more superstars? Or are you going to man up and be the baby bird and the greatest that everybody think you are? But I know what it is. You can't travel no more. You ain't double dribbling. You ain't getting the calls. Yeah, I've been saying it. Yeah.
Oh?
They let him travel. They let him double dribble. Yeah.
So what do you mean? When did they stop that?
Hey, it look like they've been stopping a couple games now. he ain't been. When last time you seen him whining and crying like that on the podium like a little baby? But once again, if the league is easy, remember he said it. I didn't say it. This thing is easy over here. What's the problem?
Scoring. He said scoring was easy.
All right, what's the problem?
I think the problem is he has to share the ball now with Kyrie. I think that's the biggest problem. And I don't know, you know, that's Rage Man's man. Rage Man, you get on here later on Rapid Fire. We'll have a short Rapid Fire today. You get on here about your man Kyrie. That's how me and you got into it in the first place. This guy, listen, I'll tell you all the time. We was in the BX when Kyrie got drafted. We were New York City look what we did for Mr. New York City in the NCAA Final Four this past weekend. We are rooting for Kai. But dog, and by the way, hold on a second. Kyrie Irving. This is when I love Kyrie Irving. You heard what he said after the game yesterday about he basically reacted to Luka Doncic, saying he's sad or whatever, going through whatever personally. Kyrie is saying, yo, he just had a human moment, this, that, and the third, and he had his back or whatever it is. We have yet to hear any teammate, don't make that face too. We have yet to hear any teammate downplay Kyrie Irving. But this is your 4th team, bro.
Let me ask you a question. All jokes aside, you said
yes.
he had his back. He had his back on what?
He was defending him. Remember, because he said that, now the media is going to go and make it something bigger than what it is. Hold on. The one thing about Luka that we're forgetting, and we say he's going through something personal, he's suing his mom for his likeness and everything like that. He's going through some real drama. If I had to sue my mom for my likeness, and who knows wherever else is it going?
I'm going there. You ready?
Oh, they scared?
But I'm not. Why are we coddling the European players? Why are we making excuses for them? When people in the stands were disrespecting Westbrook and his family, what everybody was saying. Stop crying and play ball. Now that Luka got problems off the court, that's supposed to be his excuse for losing games and crying at the podium? When there's other players, we all be on live all day. We say it. Nigga, so what, man? Play ball. Stop whining. Stop crying. You're a professional athlete. You're a grown-up. Now, when it's Luka, man, you don't get out of here. Things ain't going your way. You got Kyrie. That trade ain't what y'all thought it would be. Y'all not clicking how y'all should be. Because I was the one, and I'm gonna be real on here. I thought they should have been Western Conference or championship contenders.
I don't know why you thought that.
Hey, man, you got Kyrie, you got Luka.
Nah.
But I was wrong. They are terrible. And I'm sick of these superstars. When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
I don't know if Kyrie, did he win a playoff series in Boston, Rage Man?
Yeah. They lost in the second round. When he first got there, they lost in the second round. And then remember the next year he got hurt and didn't play, and they went to the conference finals.
Okay. And by the way, you totally countered. You came in from the crowd like a wrestler. If this was wrestling, I thought I was gonna win the match. You came in from the crowd and just bow, hit me with the chair. with that point because it's true. Yeah, Luka, we don't care.
That's real talk. Remember, they call you Baby Bird.
Yeah.
Why are you not having fun?
They call Bird a racist, and he just sat up there like, "Listen, man, you know."
But hold on, Faye. Why are you not having fun? Because you're not winning.
Right.
But you, the best player in the league.
Right.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Things happen. Life happens. Yeah, life happens. We can't no excuses.
As much as we joke on the Lakers and this and that, and you don't hear them complaining. You don't see them going on the podium doing that.
Nah. Whoa. Yes, we do.
Not like that.
We do. LeBron definitely complains. He is definitely a captain complainer. Not
like that.
Yeah, that was like depressing. I was a little concerned for Luke. I'm not gonna lie.
Come on, man. Once again, I'm gonna leave it at this.
He went with
Luka, you're a great player. Like I said, your skill set crazy. But you said it. It's easier to score here. Score, win games.
Right. Especially at the end of the game, Luka.
Only thing I say, like I said, with Kyrie, I ain't got much to say. My thing is, as great as his talent is, it doesn't amount to winning games. I'm sorry. He has to be held accountable as well. Everywhere you go, it looks nuts. So, yeah. Big shout out to the Lakers in Dallas. Please keep losing. Please. I beg of you. Oh, you know how exciting the offseason would be if those teams don't make it and Brooklyn makes it and Chicago sneaks in. Remember, y'all traded Pat Beverly. Now Chicago gets in. Brooklyn, y'all done traded everybody. And then Brooklyn still make it. Come on, man. You got to love it, man. I love it.
Hey, fellas, the link is in the chat for Rapid Fire. The link is in the chat for Rapid Fire. I had one thing real quick on a nerdy Rapid Fire, and it's not so nerdy, actually. My man and Zach Lowe, see if I can share this. I don't even want to share, matter of fact. Zach Lowe, shout out to Zach Lowe from the like ESPN and everything. He's like used to work for New York Times. He came out and basically said they need to reestablish how they do, rethink how they do the whole MVP, all NBA voting. Because the media, it feels uncomfortable for us to have to vote for the all NBA player and the MVP player when it's not only his contract, it's also how the Boston Celtics are going to fit this guy in here. And I'm also the guy that has to sit there and critique what you're doing for a living. That makes no sense. So for a media member to come out and criticize the NBA like that about a vote that he actually has and could take part in, I got to salute Zach Lowe for that. And I agree with it. What the hell are you doing voting for the MVP? You're biased.
Rage Man, Turbo, how y'all brothers doing today?
We good. You already know the vibes.
Rage Man, your mic.
Slipping, man. You slipping.
Maybe it's the button.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, what's going on?
Chilling, man.
Now, hold on. Rapid fire. I want Rage Man to go first, Turbo go second. Hold on, Faye. Because you know me. I throw salt in the wound. What's your thoughts on LeBron coming off the bench and the Lakers losing? Please, give me your honest opinions. Rage Man first, Turbo second.
I mean, he got an ego, so he want to feel like he contributed to this winning. So, I mean, I just want him to play so he can show that it's his problem, and when they lose, it's his fault. So,
Turbo.
Like we had that conversation yesterday. I mean, he should have waited to come back because they were still. I don't even think they've won 3 games in a row yet because they keep on. You would think, okay, they got 2 in a row, but they can never win 3 in a row. It's like they win 1, then they lose 1. They win 2 in a row, then they lose 1. It's like it's herky jerky with them. It's like what's going on?
You mean all season? They haven't won 3 games in a row.
No, they did. But since they had their nucleus, they've been like up and down, up and down, up and down.
Since the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been fluky. And people said that they...
Hold on. Hey, Rage Man, your mic, I don't know what it is, though. The headphones, It's like a
Like
bad static.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, just a second. Hold on.
It be come in and out. Pause.
Yeah, I said staticky. That's not even a word.
I mean, yeah, we understand it.
Is it better now?
Nah.
Still kind of here. Yeah, still a little.
Try to come in and out, Rage Man.
All right.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, Faye, what I'm gonna do is remember about 3:40. I'm gonna jump off, but y'all can stay on. Remember, I gotta go to the DMV.
Okay.
Because remember, they closed at 5:00 today.
Okay.
And I didn't realize they don't
Is it
even
good
open
now?
on the weekends.
Yeah, you sound good, Rage Man. I didn't.
All right, cool.
I thought they open on Saturdays.
Nah, they not.
You gonna follow that up, Rage Man? What Turbo said, or about the Lakers?
I mean, yeah, I agree. He messing up the flow. He wanna take credit for the success, and he messing up the flow. Just like Allball said with the blackjack analogy. You know, you gotta keep that flow going.
Oh damn! Yeah, Mike is back to doing that again.
Damn.
Maybe just unplug it. Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Press your mic. Press the mic button where it says Cam guest. Nah, I can't hear you.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, my mic was muted. I'm tripping. Okay, my bad.
Perfect. Yeah, it sound good now.
We in the mix.
Yeah, you're much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, he just messing up the flow, man. He's just messing up the flow.
I mean, I think he has to do this though. In my opinion, like, how can he sit down the rest of the year? You saw the schedule, right?
Some reports that were saying he was going to come back at the very end of the season, if not the beginning of the playoffs, if they made it there.
Hey, Rage is doing it again.
What's going on? Yeah.
I think just come drop in and drop back out. Just drop back out and just come back in.
Yep.
You know, let me Fabian Turbo, let me ask y'all a question.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, fully healthy, do y'all really think the Lakers got a chance of winning the championship this year with that team?
No.
AD.
No. Because there's still some weakness. There's still some weakness in on their wing. They can't guard. If you could see, they can't guard quicker guard. They can't guard quicker guards.
Yeah, like who are we fooling? I'm being honest, man.
They
like,
can't guard quicker guards.
When is any of us gonna be honest? Like they're a bad team. I like the trade.
They're better than what they had.
Yeah,
yes, they're better than what they had.
Yeah,
but they still can't really guard on the perimeter. And if you're gonna beat the Lakers in the playoffs, you got to play fast. That's the only way you're gonna beat them. You gotta play them fast.
No, that's not the only way. That's how they're gonna get beat because the whole West is fast.
Yeah,
that was my thing. That's been my beef with them for the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. Ever since AD and them came back and they traded for Westbrook. I just was saying, listen, man, you can't. If Anthony Davis is not Anthony Davis, you can forget about it because of what you just said. Mm-hmm. He can guard anybody on the perimeter and in the paint, especially in this era. It's saying 1995. If he's not doing that, and you can't expect him to do that, he's not going to do that for you. He can't play 70 games like this, let alone the 15 that they got to win in the playoffs or the 14 they got to win in the playoffs.
Yeah. Listen, they got to listen. I'm gonna just say this about the Lakers because I'm over them. I'm tired of people saying they got an opportunity, they got a chance. They don't. Right. That team is not good. Y'all not selling me on Reeves. You're not selling me on Vanderbilt. I'm saying as far as like these guys in the playoffs making big impacts. You're not selling me on that. If the Lakers go play through Anthony Davis, they have a shot at winning the playoff series. But LeBron will never let that happen. LeBron is older. He's not healthy. But he's always going to be the number one option. And to me, that is the problem with the Lakers. If they were going to go through, you see AD with flashes can give you 30 and 15. But LeBron is not going to let that happen for 4, 5, 6, 7 straight games. He got to get his. So,
the Will Chamberlain syndrome.
Right. So that's my problem with the Lakers.
Yeah, man. I think he's spreading himself too thin, man. I think wasn't the whole goal of getting AD for him to be the future? LeBron's still holding on, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
I think it's funny when we look at like you could look at any player now, Derrick Rose, when Kobe was, God bless the dead, and they all like come from like the Bill Russell tree. And LeBron, if you look at Will Chamberlain's whole thing, and a lot of people overlook this thing with Shaq. Shaq did a lot of this. He had no reason beefing with Kobe the way that he was doing. He was supposed to let that young pup come in there and go be the new guy. You know what? I am starting to get older. I do need some help. And LeBron is in the same exact realm. He wants to be a diva, wants to be in the limelight, and never kind of got over it.
That's a good point.
Because they all, in my opinion, they're all like gentle giants. That's what we don't like about Will. If you look back on him, he's a little. Even Dr. J was a very nice guy. He should have been smacking dudes for the last shot on the 76ers. 4 championships you went to? Nah, I'm Dr. J, dog. Give me that ball. So we feel the same way about LeBron. Like, yo, get the ball to AD. Go say whatever you got to say to him to motivate him, because that's the guy you brought in. It's clutch sports. It ain't even the NBA anymore. It's halfway clutch sports.
Yeah, most of the Lakers players are clutch.
Well, that's
or at least
crazy.
at a point, or at least at one point, this whole LeBron tier, it was a point where there was at least 6 clutch clients on the Lakers team.
Yeah, crazy. Well, fellas, listen, man. Fabian, he gonna keep the show going on. I have to come in later. I gotta go to the DMV. You already know, man. DMV. Hold on, look. Wish me luck. I might have to be in there till tomorrow. You know how the DMV play.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man, I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, I have an episode like Martin.
Peace.
Yo, Rage, I think your mic is still kind of.
All right, hold on.
Is it the mic?
Must be his mic.
I don't know, because he took it off and he sounded the same.
Can you hear me now? It must be the internal mic.
Maybe.
Like, is it still making that? Is it still making that sound?
Nah, you sound good now.
We can hear you clearly now.
Yeah, you sound ill.
Okay.
You sound much better.
Okay.
So what do you think about with Kyrie? Because that's how me and you, listen, you know me, I keep it funky. Me and you going back and forth about Kyrie, and I said, yo, it's my deal. My thing is, yo, Kyle, go get your money, because this thing don't make no sense. Like, but go play ball, because if you want to be a revolutionary, there's only one route to go that way. You saw what happened with Kaepernick, and look, I don't even listen. Yo, Rage, when I tell you, I rock with Kaepernick because yo, they did you dirty, dog. They did. I see it, but that ain't the reason why you weren't protesting. You were at the end of that bench.
That's a whole other topic for another day.
Yes,
for real.
So if you Kyrie, and you see, yo, they got them in the front row. They came through with the shirts on the front row.
That was wild.
Yo, dog, go get your money. Yeah. That's my beef with them. What is this? Like, what are you really talking about at the end of the day? Like, yo, play ball. You on earth to play ball.
Yeah, at this point, I said it. In his case and Luka's, they both becoming the problems on their teams. I mean, I just had this conversation earlier with somebody. He said it's crazy how Jalen Brunson has become a bigger loss to the Mavericks than Kyrie was a game, and that sounds true. I mean, I think in the 19 games played, they're like 7-12. So it's looking bad. And when Kyrie and Luka are playing together, they're 3-7.
Horrible.
Bad. Not
horrible. Good. And he's not. But my thing has always been. I'll let you go next, Turbo. Here's what I always felt. I don't know where all this top 10 Kyrie business is coming from. That's where they really messed up at.
I don't think.
Not you per se.
I'm gonna say the last time I had him in the top 10 was probably around 2016. Right now, I give him anywhere from 25 really to 35 because it's a lot of players just due to consistency. It's a lot of players that you can't say are better than Kyrie.
Even for me back then, I thought top 10 is a stretch. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, because he's even back in 2016 because you had Kobe. Kobe was still playing. Well, no, Kobe did retire.
No. Yeah, Kobe wasn't. Yeah. Like at that point, you couldn't tell me I'm taking Kyrie over even Porzingis. To me that's nuts. He's too big of a talent.
Porzingis? Well, are you talking about right now?
No, back then.
I'll take Kyrie back then. But right now, I would take Porzingis over Kyrie right now. Right now, I would take Porzingis.
That's crazy.
Right now. Yeah.
Turbo, do you think Kyrie was ever top 10?
As far as top guards, yes.
Like players in the
Easily.
Guards,
Easily.
yes. But as far as like
Yes.
top 10 player, no.
Easily.
No.
Wow. Why not?
Maybe in the beginning, like in his Cleveland years, when he was like, when he was really in his bag, then you can like make an argument like he was like one of the top 10 young players. Or
After 2016, though, after this shot.
After maybe 2017, and then he started going backwards.
You hear what he said though, Rage Man. He said when maybe when he was younger, he was a top 10 young player.
Like young, like you don't know, but like the young guns coming up.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Like he was in that conversation. Like that's what I meant.
I was a big time Kyrie fan, and when he came in the league, I was like, bro, Steph Curry. I've been saying Steph Curry's the logo since 2013. I got it documented on Twitter. That's why I like Twitter. I could document that. But I was saying, yo, it ain't like Kyrie is. Come on, he's still one of the best shooters I've ever seen. That's why we disagree, Rage Man. Karl Anthony Towns, yeah, he could shoot for a big man, but he ain't setting up his shot like a Larry Bird. He ain't setting up his shot like a Dirk Nowitzki. That's why with Kyrie, it was like, bro, Kyrie could shoot from almost anywhere off the ball.
Yeah.
Not as strong, bringing up the ball, pulling up, spotting up a little bit.
Listen,
Steph is obviously a different level, but
Kyrie had one of the greatest game shots in Game 7 history. I would put that. That's definitely a top 5. That in the Ron Artest's shot. Because we remember a lot of thrillers in Game 7s don't really happen. A lot of playoff final series, either they end up getting swept or they end up in 6. It's really a hard, and those games were close. It wasn't like there was some blowouts in those 2 games. It was close. I think the Lakers only won by like 5 points.
Right.
Turbo, you just made a great comparison. I haven't heard like nobody make. Very few people I heard make that comparison between that Ron Artest shot and the Kyrie Irving shot, or even the Ray Allen shot. Those are just as severe to Kobe career and LeBron career. That's a very good comparison, because if Ron Artest missed that shot and the Celtics win again, or Ray Allen missed that shot, or Kyrie missed that shot, look at Kobe
LeBron and LeBron and Kobe's legacy would have been tarnished. But I don't think Kobe would have been as tarnished.
No, he would have lost again.
LeBron.
Think about it.
Yeah,
he would have lost twice to Boston.
But
and one without Shaq. Just one without Shaq.
Yeah, because because everybody thought Kobe was never going to win a championship ever again. Remember that theory? Everybody was like, oh yeah, Kobe ain't winning no another championship again.
But see, this is why I despise the whole ring chasing conversation. I've never used rings to determine who was great ever, because once you're that great, you should be in the conversation anyway to contend for that. That's always been my thing. Like when the whole Jordan 6-0 thing, that has never meant anything to me. Okay, I didn't need that to prove you were clutch. No. If Kobe would have lost because of a Ron Artest three-pointer ain't even the first thing you think about with Ron Artest.
Hell,
you think defense. So that to me ain't really mean nothing, but sticking to the point.
But the narrative would have came down on Kobe and LeBron.
For who?
The narrative would have been, because you know how people.
It would have been Kobe lost twice to Boston and one without Shaq.
But he won.
Like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
That means that means something.
How?
But you know how people look at you know how people
look at a player regardless whether he won a championship or not. He was still going to be a Hall of Fame. He was going to be a Hall of Famer regardless.
Yes, but it is a difference between 4 and 5 and a 2 in a repeat without Shaq and just 1 without Shaq. It's a difference, isn't it?
No, I think it's a difference with like how we just talked about LeBron. It's how you do anything. It's always how you win and how you lose. Robert always wins. We don't even talk about that.
An L is an L, though. I agree with what you're saying, but an L is an L.
No, I think it's how you do the L. Like Kobe losing against Detroit, that was bad because Detroit schemed on them.
That was terrible.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't talk about that. That's why I can't have Kobe in my top 10 personally because of performance like that. Outside of LeBron in 2011, that was the worst superstar performance in the finals ever.
No, wait a minute. Oh, you're going too far.
Outside of 2011, that's the worst performance. LeBron was passive. He couldn't make a shot.
He scored 8 points in the finals game. We're not doing that. Kobe Bryant's problem was that he was hogging the ball too much. That was the problem. And Detroit schemed against him.
And it was the thing. Shaq put up his regular numbers.
Right.
Shaq put up his regular numbers.
Right.
That was Kobe's fault.
He was supposed to feed Shaq. If you listen to Chauncey Billups and them talk about it, it's exactly what I bought money. I got money off that. I knew Detroit was gonna win. I saw Kobe was coming back from the case.
Detroit was going to win that series, even because I'm like, yo, they ain't got Karl Malone, and Chauncey is going to eat Gary Payton alive. Now, if Gary Payton was in his early 30s, Chauncey.
No, that's a different story.
That's a whole different story, huh?
That's a different story. No, that's a different story. But I just never liked that because it's even with LeBron. It wasn't that he lost to the Spurs the second time. It was how he lost. Like the way he looks depressed. Like, bro, go drop 60. You could shoot now. You're supposed to go and have just like he did against the Warriors when he scored 50 the first game.
Yeah.
I like that. Show out. But then you show up in the cast at the end of the game.
And even then, even that 50-point effort in game one, you still had overtime. He quit after the J.R. Smith stuff. He quit.
But they had a chance. They still had a chance to win because remember he had Curry on the post. Curry.
He could have dropped 60.
He had Curry on the post and he decided to pass. And you was right near the basket. You think if Kobe and Jordan had him, they would have been going to the line and attacking easily. And LeBron, you way stronger.
Well, it's not even to me. It's not even that if Kobe or LeBron, if Kobe or Mike would have done that. Because to me, I don't know if Kobe or Mike could have taken that team. Because LeBron is.
No, we're just saying it in
that 2018 run was that's up there. That's one of the greatest. That's one of the greatest runs ever.
That's what I'm just saying in that situation. If you in the post and you got somebody guarding you that small, Curry is small. Yeah. In the post, like what is he? At? You know, Jordan's mentality would have eaten him a lot. Like this guy's guarding me. Are you kidding me? He would have looked at the coach like, yo, because Kobe and them would have poked at the coach like, are you serious? You got him guarded? Oh, yeah. You're in trouble. That was their mentality.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's why when everybody was like, yo, when they said that nobody fears LeBron, I didn't look at that as disrespect.
No, it wasn't. It's just fact. I mean,
he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but nobody fears him on the court like that. Nobody's intimidated by him. I agree. When people say they respect him,
that's a mentality thing. Yeah, physically, I'm pretty sure don't nobody want to take a charge of LeBron. I mean, that's obvious, but what we saying is mentally, mental intimidation.
Listen, I think Magic Johnson is the GOAT of point guards. He's the GOAT of point guards. He's the GOAT of point guards. But Larry Bird was a way better player than him.
Way better?
Way better?
No,
I got Magic.
Think about this. But think about this, though. Think about this.
We're thinking.
Look at Larry Bird in his position that he had to guard compared to what Magic.
The 1980s was the year of the small forward. 1980s was the year of the small forward.
Exactly. Yeah. Look who Bird had to deal with every night. Had to play against Dominique Wilkins 4 times a night.
English.
Bernard King 4 times. Dr. J was still in his bag, so he had to guard him 4 times.
That's a good point. And then in the West, you had
Adrian Dentley, who was killing, putting up numbers. Mark McGuire. Who else? James Worthy. I mean, come on.
Vinny out of Detroit, Johnson, because they had the three guards.
Exactly. So look who he had to deal with. Look who he had to, deal with. That's what I'm saying.
But way better is a stretch. I got Magic 4 and Bernard 5.
Just right there. And I'm just saying from a position standpoint, what Larry Bird.
Yeah, that is a good point. If you talk about positions, for sure.
I think it goes.
Was a way better shooter. Come on.
I think it goes back to that. Like I think
going to the clutch. Yeah.
I think Bird is more skillful. Like Braun is more
mental. Like Magic is definitely fundamental.
And he's in the studio with the mic.
Because I'm getting ready to record, and I saw you guys on here. I thought y'all had been done by now, so I said, "Let me hop."
No, we were supposed to be. we were running late, but then we just two just jumped. I mean, Allball just jumped off. Was good though, Z. We having a friendly Magic versus Larry Bird conversation. Who we think is better? I think before you go, Magic is more dominant, and Bird is more skilled. Like he can pass and he can shoot. So that just changes everything. But Magic, even defensively, I want to say Bird is better than Magic.
No,
but Magic just controls the game.
Magic led the league in steals 3 times.
That's a farce. So did AI. AI played defense.
Yeah,
AI ain't checking nobody. He'll tell you that.
Yeah.
No, AI wasn't a good defender. He got lost a lot.
The passing lane.
He's a great passing lane guy.
What's your opinion, though, Z?
Well, Ben Taylor, shout out to Ben Taylor. When I had him on, when he did his Greatest Peak series, and he talked about them too, and he laid out a lot of different things. It's really close. It almost really comes down to preference. It's closer than what people think. They're almost identical. Like it was funny when you hear other people who have the ability to look at the film and then walk you through the film. So like you seeing what they're seeing. It's one thing we're sitting here talking about it. But it's different if we were able to put up film and kind of dissect things. And he made some great points. The edge for our scoring is always going to go to Larry. He's just a little bit better shooter. But Irving is a better scorer. I think people give him credit for, especially late in his career as Cap was obviously aging and they made the transition. Because Magic had like 2 careers. At the beginning, it was very point guard. You were the missing piece, backcourt. We talk about how backcourts don't work. They were kind of one of the originators. Him, Norm Nixon, 2-guy. How they was talking about that back then. How they gonna share the ball? Jamal Wilkes, Bob McAdoo coming off the bench. So it was a little bit different. And then as Cap ages out, he becomes more the focal guy. So it's a lot of sky hooks, a lot of post up game, forcing double teams. I'm somebody in the NBA. College is a little bit different. In the NBA, I like guys who can just take you out scoring. And that's why I said on that video, kind of in response to Gilbert Arenas, which I agree with. I hardly ever agree with Gilbert Arenas.
He's a troll.
But, yeah. I know he'd be trolling. But I said Magic is respected, but I felt like Bird was feared. And even like when you listen to how they talk about him, especially even in the series, when he was Coop and Worthy was grabbing, wrestling with him, and Bird still walks him up the sideline. They throw it to the corner, and he gets the 3 and knocks it down, and then almost did it again. Like the shot was just long, and the Lakers get out of there. So the NBA is a little bit different than all of the basketball. Those guys who ability to take and make big shots consistently under pressure always get just a slight edge to me. But man, you can't go wrong with either one, man. Like,
no, you can't. But the thing
I think Bird was different overall. And even when I was preparing for my last podcast, I went back and looked at the analytics of that era. Right. Bird was dominant in his 2nd and 3 year analytically. And some of the people that were near the top was obviously Magic, and another guy you mentioned, Turbo, was Adrian Dantley. So it kind of charts itself out, even no matter what metric you kind of want to use. That if you want to give a slight edge to Bird, I think I would personally.
Before you go, Turbo.
But you know what was so crazy about Bird? He wasn't fast. He was like the Zach Randolph of that era. Like with all the guys in the small era, they were super athletic. Dominique and all of those guys. He was slow as molasses, but he would still give you 40 and 60 and tell you what he's going to do.
But he was 6'10". I think people forget that about him. He's a tall
Larry
guy.
Bird was a lot bigger than what people give him credit.
Yeah, I think
Bird might have been more athletic than Zach Randolph.
He got the same vertical as Karl Malone. He wasn't that unathletic. He got the same vertical as Karl Malone.
Bird could jump, man. Before Z, the most impressive thing, and probably Rage, man, you guys are into analytics. I try to dip into it.
Well,
the most impressive thing about Magic, he got like the lowest usage percentage for somebody who had the ball that much.
That's
it was like
because the ball is
it's moving.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
The reads are quick. The reads are quick. The ball is gone. It's almost like you saw with the young fella from Kansas State with the reads. He's not. As soon as he sees it, the ball is gone. Actually, he sees it before. those guys going to always, like even Jason Kidd, prime Jason Kidd, he has a low usage rate because the ball is constantly gone. We're not holding on to that. And that's what George Karl was talking about when he had a pet peeve with Carmelo. He don't like guys that hold the ball. When you see what you're going to do, get rid of it. Either dribble, triple threat, either dribble, pass it, or shoot it, but get rid of it. And those guys like that were just unbelievable like that. And the analytics thing, again, I'm going to keep saying this so I can get more people to come on to the dark side. I don't understand the math formulas either. I know some of the defensive metrics does depend on lineups. Like you can't really use defensive rating and offensive rating. But when you're talking about box plus minus, win shares, like we can't even argue. Like that's literally telling you how many wins. Yeah. When we're talking about VORP, when we're talking about PER, if you go to Basketball Reference right now and just look since they've been charting it, it's all the best players.
Right.
So my argument is, even if you don't understand the math equation, I don't completely. I'm a history guy. There's a reason why I majored in history. I'm not good at math. If all the great players of that era or that year are there, then it has to have validity.
Yeah.
That's just, to me, common sense. It doesn't have to be this deep as everybody making it. But what I'm figuring out is if the player you like, or if you as a player is not represented, then it's all is garbage. It's like, no, Embiid, you're top 3 or top 2 in most this year at the lowest 4, but all the main ones, he's like top 2 or top 3. No, bro, there's validity in the stat, man.
You want to respond to that, Rage Man? The whole analytics thing?
I just wanted to piggyback on what he was saying about like win shares. I was having this conversation with somebody a long time ago about who was better between Oscar Robertson and Isaiah Thomas. And I say, it's different. Isaiah Thomas, he had way more help compared to Oscar. Oscar, as a like pure talent, it's not even close. Like win shares, if you want to look at that individual talent maximization, it's Oscar all the way. But yeah, you gotta. It's deep, And it's only so many advanced stats I pay attention to. Like Zach just said, like the PR, like the win shares, like those, not the defensive rating or any of that complex stuff. It's some that you can pay attention to that are valid for sure.
I think the Oscar Robertson, I'll let you go in a second, Trevor, my bad. The Oscar Robertson and Isaiah Thomas, like that thing to me, that is hard. But then go back to Bill Russell. Nobody had to deal with what they dealt with.
Yeah.
Like that's a different era. Isaiah Thomas, and I'm not saying it wasn't bad, obviously, in Chicago in the 80s in general, but it wasn't the 60s. It wasn't
Isaiah
the 70s.
Thomas really could have won 4 championships, really, 4 in a row.
Why you got 4?
If everything went well. 88, 89, 90, and they were the favorite in 91. Quiet as kept. They were the favorite to win the championship.
And in 91, he revealed on the interview he did with Rashad Phillips that the reason why his shooting percentage was so bad in 91, he had a badly damaged wrist that he revealed that on Rashad's podcast that they had to fuse his wrist. So he couldn't follow through. So when you go back and look at it, which I did, and you could see the shooting form, everything looks completely different. So he wasn't 100%. So I always say I think Isaiah is the best small guy we've ever seen. I don't think it's close compared to what his roster was in comparison to everybody else that's small. It is. Everybody wants to give that to Steph, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, it's no knock to Steph, but Steph is playing with 3 first ballot Hall of Famers. Isaiah at that time, he wasn't, because everybody has to say Rodman. Rodman was not Rodman yet. He was kind of coming into Rodman when he won that Defensive Player of the Year, but he was far from the complete Rodman we saw in San Antonio, which was, go look at those numbers. Everybody talk about Rodman in Chicago. He was out of his mind in San Antonio.
I got something like that.
But I don't want to go off on a tangent, but no, I just feel like Isaiah and Oscar, that's a tough one. It's a style. And what I think with a lot of these, I'm coming up with preference. Just don't say crazy things like it's not close or this person is this. I really think a lot of this is just coming down to preference, because these are all great guys that did it different ways, completely different ways.
But that's the way we talk now. It's either you're trash, he's the greatest, he's the GOAT. You know what I mean? You are at the bottom of the barrel of the garbage can that I just kicked down the stairs yesterday. It's everybody, like, that's the way people talk now. And it's just, and you get it, it's just the whole tweeting thing. We speak in headlines. That's just the bottom line. Like, it's not close. It's like, how can it not be close? And we're not saying Zeke and Jordan, just talent-wise is not the same. So, but But the fact that Isaiah was able to lead a team in our minds, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's again not talked about.
That's smart.
At
Yeah,
every level. At every level. He didn't win in high school, but they made it downstate. They lost in the championship. I think he had a last second shot. But at Indiana, he was their best player. He left as a sophomore. They won the national championship. Like, I think people forget that. Like, he won at every single level. And he was the catalyst for that. I just think people don't like him. You know, we tend to take how we feel about somebody and relate that to how they play basketball.
I think
they don't know how to separate the two.
Yeah,
I'll let not only that, a lot.
Hold on, Turbo. I'll let you go and Rage Man and Zach, you finish up.
All right.
Two things I think Zach finished. Zeke. He played the villain. Like that. That we gotta. You. That's what you did. You signed up for it. 50 Cent does not hide from it. He still plays the villain. So I can't. He kind of got to live with that. And I get it. Jordan's the hero, but it's not talked about. I still revere him. So I think it matters that these things matter. So Turbo, go ahead. Let's clean this up.
No.
Go first, then Rage Man and Zach.
Oh no, I was gonna say he's one of the first superstars to be the president of the NBA union. One of the first superstars to be the president of the union. Isaiah Thomas was one of the first superstars to be the vice president of the NBA union.
That's incredible.
And he helped a lot of people get money. When he was the president, and he said it, he was like, "Look, when I was the president, there was no strikes. Everybody got paid when I stepped up." Because a lot of people try to screw up that he's not a good businessman.
Team Planes didn't exist before Isaiah Thomas.
Oh yeah, that was the whole Detroit Pistons. They were the first ones to have private jets.
Yep.
Play three small guards. Like nobody was doing that. They're kind of like the way everybody's playing now. Detroit was doing that.
Definitely.
But it was because it was so different because it was back then. It was big man dominance at that time. It wasn't so heavily guard oriented until the 90s, until the Pennies and the Jason Kidds and them started to come in. But it was still the big man era.
Definitely. More than one way to skin a cat. Go ahead, Rage Man.
In my top 20 all-time players, I only got 4 point guards, and Isaiah Thomas is one of those. So I think that go to show how good he is. But like I was saying, there's the comparison with him and Big O. I just think he had more talent, and he really, if you really want to dissect it, he could have did more. Like at 88, when they lost the first time to LA. Then again, they came into the season favorites in 91. So he really could have won 4 if you really want to say that.
Yeah. And the narrative would have definitely changed. The narrative would have definitely changed on his career.
Yeah.
From Z to Z. Bring us home, Zach.
Nah, man, I'm about to record, man. I'm gonna talk a little bit about guard play and touch on the NCAA tournament a little bit, and then get my take on this whole Lakers thing and LeBron. And I think one day a discussion that's worth having that would be different. Instead of ranking players based on accomplishments, like let's have a discussion like top 10. We just feel like we're just better players. So like, for example, like LeBron is top 5 now, right? Because he's the all-time. But I don't think I'm taking LeBron at the small forward over Larry Bird.
No, not at all.
At that peak?
Or I'm not taking him over Magic Johnson per se. You know what I mean? So I think, and then the younger generation may disagree. I think it's an interesting way. I kind of played around with that when I did that whole series on who would you take, KG or Duncan, or I had Steph and Isaiah Thomas. I had Durant and Bird, because what it made me look at, like Bron, because of longevity, because he started out of high school, he's going to have a lot of records except for Stockton's assists and steals.
Of course.
But I'm looking like, does that just necessarily mean he's the best? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
No.
Because prior to Bron, we didn't look at Kareem like that. We don't look at Karl Malone like that. We, as point guards, we don't even look at John Stockton like that. And he holds 2 major, records, not 1, but 2. And then the most unbreakable, probably, like they're not even close.
Right.
So I just think it'd be an interesting dialogue. And, I hope we could have that conversation. Don't be so emotional with it, but just kind of come in
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I definitely believe it. You can say that there is definitely a difference between greatest and like pound for sure.
Or
Yeah.
even and just to bring it
Like
home.
Allen
go ahead.
Iverson, that's a top 10 talent NBA history.
But right. Talent definitely. Long arms. You had something to chime in, Turbo, before we close out?
No, but what Zach was saying, that's a great point because everybody now it's like, oh, if you don't win a championship, you're not a great player. And I think we got to separate winning a championship and being in winning environments. Those are two different situations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Two different situations. Like I remember before this whole live thing, I got laughed at when I put Chris Webber in my top 5 power forward of all time.
All time? That's tough.
For
That's
me,
a
it was
stretch.
my list. But here's the thing that how I broke it down, and then people was like, okay, I see where you was going from it.
Yeah.
But we got to look at it like this. This is how I grade a great player. Look at the situations that they've been in, and then what happens after. Think about it. Got drafted by Golden State. They didn't make the playoffs until it took them like 13 years to make the playoffs. That set the franchise back for a long time. He goes to the Bullets, gets them to the playoffs. The Bullets haven't been to the playoffs in damn near almost 10 years or something like that.
Right.
Goes in there, he gets them to the playoffs. What happened when he leaves? They struggle. He goes to the Kings. And the Kings had a great franchise. The King had a great franchise.
Good point.
To me, Mitch Richmond is one of the most underrated.
The 90s for sure. I think he like top 5 scorers of the 90s.
Of all time.
Run TMC.
He goes there. Nobody cared about Come on. Nobody cared about Sacramento before Chris Webber got there. And then next thing you know, they were on TV damn near every week.
Yeah.
And then what happened when he left?
I was a big Chris Webber guy, but it goes back just to close us out what Rage Man just said. I think there's a lot of talent there that was unrealized. Just like Rasheed Wallace. Chris Webber, KG, Tim Duncan should not be better than them. That's my issue with Chris Webber. He should not be better than you. Tim Duncan should not be better than Kevin Garnett.
Real quick about Rasheed. It's like he should be a Hall of Famer. I'm like, go look at his stats and you'll see why he's not a Hall of Famer.
No.
We're gonna
he
bring it
could
to a
have been
close.
the best out of all of them if you ask.
I don't even think he has 15,000 points off the top of my head. It will surprise you.
Same thing with Robert Ory. He don't even have 8,000 points.
It's barely 15,000 for Rasheed, which is crazy when you think about
his talent,
how good he was. So
right.
I appreciate you guys, man. I'm glad I was able to.
How much potential he had.
I thought you was going to respond when I said how I broke it down, and none of y'all didn't respond.
No. That's one of the ways to look at it. You made a great point, and I think people don't understand too how hard it is to win a championship.
That's exactly
all the time from a personal standpoint. I played at every level and never won a championship. I don't even count the conference tournament championship I won my junior year. I've never won a championship. It's so hard, and I think when we look at certain players, if they weren't on certain rosters, we would look at them totally different. I tell that to Warriors fans all the time. If Steph didn't have Dre and Clay, he would not be looked at the same. Like teams, organizations, top to bottom, rosters win championships, not just having great players. And people don't understand that. It's super hard.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that so we can leave out with this. I think that's what led to LeBron leading the ring chase movement because he knows they look at you differently. Even in China, they looked at Kobe totally different than he was because he won the rings. So y'all, tomorrow, 12-1 is actually Knicks Talk Tuesdays. I'll be Turbo, Rage Man, Zach. Tune in.
No, this was a good conversation though.
Definitely, Rage Man channel. Turbo, you on IG Live when? What time?
Tonight at 8:00, I'm gonna talk about what was one of the greatest shots in playoff and finals history. What we were just talking about. So I'm gonna write that.
Go right into that. There you go. So tomorrow's Knicks Talk Tuesday. You know me and Allball gonna go nuts. Especially if Julius Randle do his thing tonight. I'm already going crazy. My head is fuming. And I'm going to the game tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
Appreciate y'all, man, all the time, man.
You, bro.
For sure.
I love it.
Y'all be safe.
All right, y'all.